Hello and welcome to the September Amiami Recap. If this is your first time watching, this is a series where I go over some of the best and worst anime figure pre-orders on Amiami over the last month. I talk about what I like about them, what I don't like, and we generally have a good, fun time. So let's get straight into it with the figure I'm very excited to talk about. Praise Myethos. This is beautiful. Where do I start with this? Can we talk about this hat? I love that. I'm sure there's some cultural significance there, but it looks really silly. It's awesome. But anyway, this is Tsuchimikado Kurumi Onmyoki version. That is a mouthful of words that I probably all got wrong. And Myethos just have the most stunning prototypes every single time. The colors and the composition of this is just absolutely stunning. We get a close-up of that material there? Yes, we can. Look at that pattern. It's not overwhelming, which is why I like it so much. All these bits have their own patterns, but it just looks so natural from far away. And also the parasol just has a very beautiful ornate design as well. I cannot fault this figure at all. Especially taking a look at all these like layers of details and clothes, accessories, just it all comes together to make a very satisfying figure. I think the base works really great with this figure because it's not something that's super eye-catching, but it does add a little bit more flavor to the character and the setting. This looks absolutely worth it for 20,000 yen. I don't know if any other figures this month are going to top this for me. But I'll have to wait and see because I don't know what's coming up next. Next up, we have a Nakiri Ayame figure by Kotobukiya. I'm not sure what these little spirits or yokai are. I'm sure there's a proper name for them. But like the pastel blue, pinky purple coloring on those, it's pretty cool. Of course, this Oni mask is... the sculpt on that looks really cool. I'm not sure if they've done other figures of this character design before, but I'm very interested to see how these like red hair strands turn out. Imagine there'd be some very precise painting going on there. It seems hard to pull off cleanly, but we'll see how it turns out. Her outfit looks fine. As usual, that black is probably going to look a bit flat and cheap, but all the extra riffly-ruffly stuff, like whatever this thing is, attached to the obi, and all the accents and accessories are going to liven this up a bit, so I'm not really concerned. I guess the only thing that bothers me is the base, since it just seems a little bit bright. It could be worse, but I'm not super in love with the design there. Overall though, I like it. Expect it to be pretty consistent from Kotobukiya. Remember the last time I said I'd never talk about Rem again? I lied. I want to talk about this one because it's cute. I like little fish. She's got a fish in her hand, she's got a fish on her shoulder, there's fish in the base. It is the Aqua orb version, so she does have quite the large Aqua orb. I think the orb part of this is going to be very hit or miss. Like, I think it's going to look absolutely awesome and add a lot of atmosphere to the figure, or it's going to look really bad. Maybe the angles are really awkward with it. It seems like it'll probably take up a lot of space, and it'll be really bad if it clouds up Rem at all. I think it's hard to judge. I don't dislike this figure at all. I think the expression and the pose and the shading and sculpting of Rem's clothes is also really good. So I actually really like this a lot, and I do have quite high hopes for it. Unfortunately, FuRyu have put this at 33,000 yen, which, oh god, which for like the 40th Rem scale, it's like, why would you get this one over something else? I'd be hesitant to pre-order. If you can, probably wait until you see if it's any good. And then try to get your hands on her, but I don't know. Next up, we've got a couple of Fire Emblem figures. We've got Lilina and Roy. Ooh, they do match together. Wait, that's Photoshop. Is there like an actual... Here, oh, there it is. Is there a third character that's got like a triangle base? The Intelligent Systems website has the same picture. Why? Their website does have this lovely turnaround of both. Yeah, let's go, spin. I like this figure quite a lot. I think that's mainly down to the fire effect part. The fire, like, completely surrounding the book, I think is really cool. And the pages in the book also have, like, diagrams and stuff in them. I also just like the colors, even though they are a bit simple. Appreciate they've gone to a bit of effort to make her do a bit of a attack. As for Roy, I only know him from Smash Bros. But he looks alright as well, doesn't he? Both of these character designs aren't the most, detailed and intricate things, so it's sort of hard to adapt that to a very intricate figure. So I think both of them are sort of solid, and the main criticism I probably have is that the price is a bit steep, and because it's an exclusive sale on Amiami, you're not getting like that, 4,000, 5,000 yen saving you typically would. And I'm really not a fan of these bases because they don't actually match up. And it definitely feels like they want you to buy both of these figures. They're kind of emphasizing this point, which is just why it's strange. But if you're into Fire Emblem, you like these characters, maybe you want to go for it. Yo, Kaworu with the drip. I'm pumped that they're re-releasing these. Ooh, I might need to get one. But these are both re-releases because they've been re-releasing the first set of Radio Eva figures while they put up pre-orders for the second. But this Kaworu, he also looks awesome. They really knocked it out of the park with this second batch of figures. This is the regular color version, but I think I prefer this one. I like all the grays. I really love Kaworu's smug face here, and I think his hair sculpt is really cool. Only concerns with this is that the inside of this coat is just really bland white, like it's completely undone, which seems concerning. And I'm pretty sure the jacket is supposed to look soft, but it kind of just looks very plasticky. If it's supposed to be leather, it would look fine, but I really doubt it is. But I'm ready to be proven wrong if the final one turns out better than that. Just a couple of things that I'm concerned about, but overall, looks really good. If you're ordering this, I hope you've got the Asuka as well. They're gonna look so good together. Oh, hello. Didn't know Azur had cute schoolgirl figures. Look at the little Manju mascot fellas. Look at him. Is there a close-up? Any close-ups? No. But you can see the little bags. Look at the bags. It's adorable. It's so cute. Okay, I need to recover from that. This is Suruga, Straightfaced model student version from Azur by FuRyu. And look at that gorgeous smile. I like the colors on this, but I think the detailing on like everything else could be a lot better. I think her horns could have better shading, and she just looks very pale, but maybe that's intentional. Is that part of her bag? It's like a plushie accessory, or is that supposed to be an actual gun? Because it looks very undetailed, it doesn't feel like it's supposed to be an actual gun. And I think between that and the steps, there's too much grey in the figure. It unreasonably makes this figure feel more bland than I think it has any right to be. Because it does look really cute. If you didn't tell me the manufacturer of this figure, I would have said Kotobukiya. But I don't think there's any extra quality there for 24,000 yen. Like, I like her legs, and I like pretty much everything about Suruga herself, but I think everything else, aside from the little baby chicken fellas, it just detracts from the figure more than it really adds anything. So it's kind of disappointing, I think, but maybe you feel differently about it. The hell is this? Dark Schneider. Jeez, look at that scythe. Yeah, man, that's sick. This is metal. That is ass? What? I'm kinda confused. This guy's out here like, I've got my scythe and my assless chaps. Gotta respect him, man. Look, I don't want to dwell on it too much, but this figure looks sick. The fire is awesome. This head of a demon or something, that's also really sick. I think this pose is also good. Like, if you're okay with this guy not actually wearing pants, It's really good. Next up, we have Sophie Neuenmuller from the Atelier series, and this one's by Wonderful Works. And it seems like this is part of the KT Model Plus line of figures. Not sure if I've ever seen that before, but I guess it's something new Koei Tecmo's trying to bring all their IP figures together into one thing, maybe? I don't know. But this Sophie figure, I have a few issues with it. I think the first thing that annoys me is that the base feels very empty at the front. Like, they've obviously put a little bit of effort into it, they've got those books stacked there, but it just feels very underdone. And it's showing like a circular rug on the floor, but like only a portion of it? Like, why? Who chose that? Just make it the whole rug, or make it no rug, or something that's not this. Despite that, I think her face is really nice. I think they've done a great job with her mouth to get the right pointy mouth shape that she has. Looking at some of these other pictures in different lighting, you know, the colors do look a lot better. But I think just a concern overall is that for this price, I'm definitely fine to just wait and see what Ultra is cooking up. I'm holding strong, even if they're gonna charge me $1 trillion for it. Moving on with more Atelier figures, of course there's another Ryza figure this month, and the third game just got announced, so that means we're getting more and more years of Ryza figures to flood the market. This is the Changing Clothes mode by Q's Q. I think this figure is entirely unnecessary, but I will always love her asymmetric character design. Does her... Oh, they've even got like little wrinkles in there. Nice attention to detail. So this figure like is what it is, right? It's fundamentally not going to work for me because I don't like lewd figures, but I'm sure there's plenty of you out there who are like thirsting for this, like, oh, Ryza, Thyza, oh. It's fine. She looks really nice. Ryza always looks nice. She's cute though, but you still get this booty on a better figure anyway. Took a while. I don't know why this was a couple of months behind the Lloyd and Anya figures, but we finally have FuRyu's Yor as well. And together they look like this. Their bases all joined together and create one giant, large piece of grey. Which, I don't know, I feel like that could have been planned better. But we're here to talk about Yor, who I had high expectations for, but I feel like of the three, I like her the least. It's like her dress and her pose and everything about her just feels a bit boring. All three of these feel like it's something that Kotobukiya's Artifact J-Line could have handled for half the price, but FuRyu were making up prices as they go. With how popular Spy Family is, there is no doubt there's going to be like 10, 20 Yor figures for you to choose from within a couple of years. And if you get this one, just because it's one of the first, I think you'll be shooting yourself in the foot a little bit. The whole family set looks pretty good, but you're also paying a hefty sum of money for that. I don't know if I could really recommend any of them, except maybe Lloyd. Hello, Good Smile. It's very cool to see Good Smile Company do a figure like this, especially with such a lavish base, just because I trust them a lot and I'm confident that they can pull off this quality. Again, sort of disappointing that this is a Amiami exclusive, because this price could come down a bit and make this a much more reasonable purchase, but I think this does look really good anyway. All these books on the base are just incredible. Absolutely love the detailing on the covers of the books, and maybe my favorite detail of it all are these 2 pages that have been ripped from a book, and you can see the tear marks and how they're just floating on the base somehow. It just makes it feel really alive and magical. She looks pretty cute, if a bit plain, just with all this, you know, boring white and black here. But her character design does have some very interesting little bits about it, like these patterns on the underside of her coat and scarf. Having that detail under there, I think, also just makes the figure a lot more interesting to look at, because you have all these extra details that are hidden away for you to find. And I think in that way the figure sort of justifies its price tag. I think it's pretty good. I don't really have any complaints about it. Thumbs up from me. This is Albedo Wing version, which you may recall we've already seen before, but this one is the museum collection, which means it's just unpainted, right? Like they've just it's just got like a grey primer on it. That's They're basically just selling it unpainted. Like, why? And get a load of this, right? Albedo's Wing version, which went on sale in March 2022, has reappeared in a color scheme reminiscent of marble. Dude, you guys didn't even paint it. You just didn't paint this one. This is a high-end figure with beautiful modeling and a sense of dynamism, as well as a finish that makes it look like it could be displayed in a museum. KADOKAWA has somehow stooped to a new low. Am I missing something? Going off list price, it's 5,000 yen cheaper. Is that how much the paint costs? This is weird. Let me know in the comments if you're buying this. And why. I want to know. While I'm complaining about them, they've also got this Bride Albedo and Bride Shaltir. Dude, Shaltir's a lolly. Stop this. I think the Albedo looks fine, though. I think her feathers look really nice. Little tongue is kind of cute. I don't know if it's going to turn out that good. What's she doing with her legs, homie? Some people are going to be really into that. Same with Shaltir, but she's like way smaller and not that much less expensive. Why is this Arknight skin like not wearing any clothes? Why do I even question it at this point? I'm gonna mess up this name. I'm gonna say Ayafala. Ultimately, it's an Arknights figure by Apex. I like the sound of both of those things, but this one is a bit more atypical than we're used to seeing. I want to talk about the little fella. There he is. Look at this little lammy. I don't know what this like purpley red liquid is supposed to be. I think it looks really pretty. But as we can expect with Apex, there's a lot of nice little details and things everywhere. Like on this rod, it just has really nice coloring, really nice detailing on the flowers. And I think her face, I'm not a huge fan of it, but I think other people will be. I think it's done quite well. It's just not something I personally like. I think when you look at it overall, the base looks a little bit imbalanced. But I think it's fine for the price and for what this is. It seems okay to me if you're into this sort of Arknight stuff with different random skins, I guess. Moving on to another Apex figure, we have Zhao from Genshin Impact. This base looks really cool. It looks a lot like the Ruination, Ruined King stuff from League of Legends. The same sort of color palette. Ooh, that's cool. It's got like a Black Panther mask. His weapon is cool. Cool accessories, and the coloring seems pretty clean. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about Zhao's colors. For me, I don't feel like they work that well with the base. I really like these little medallions or whatever on his waist. Overall, I still think it looks pretty cool. And apparently Apex can deliver on that quality, so it seems like a good one to pick up if you're interested. I think I have like negative interest in these Jujutsu Kaisen E-Stream figures. They're doing so many of them, but it seems like they lack inspiration. Like, yeah, put this guy on a log. I don't know if I'm being too harsh here, like comparing this to Chainsaw Man from a little while back. There's no contest. The only interesting thing from either of these two figures, I find, is this effect part. Insanely cool. But it's used in like the least cool way. Because he's just like standing there ominously, and there's like a support pole to hold it up because it's so heavy. Like, imagine if this figure was dynamic and used this effect part in a much better way. And these figures also just really expensive. I wish they had some more of that E-Stream special sauce that justifies some of their figures costing an exorbitant amount of money. These two just, yeah, I'm not sold. I've got no clue what the story is behind these figures. I guess they're just illustrations someone came up with. And I love both of these. Like anime girls with just nice, casual outfits. It's so good. But I feel like it's kind of rare for a figure to just look this natural and trendy rather than looking like a cosplay. Are they holding hands? That's so cute. Look at them. For all those reasons, I fundamentally like these figures. They almost look like they could come out of a lemon drink commercial. Like Kirin Lemon. If they were holding a bottle of Kirin Lemon, I would like instantly pre-order both of them. Kirin Lemon's good. Next time you're in Japan, drink a Kirin Lemon. Not sponsored. Not sponsored. Also really appreciate this small square base. I think the sculpt on this one also really emphasizes and plays into all of the looseness of this shirt with how all the folds are sitting on her arms and how it's tucked into her pants as well. And geez, both of their shoes, I love both of them so much. I think it'd be hard to pick between them if I was just to get one. Maybe the left one, but I prefer the colors on the right one. But thumbs up on both of them. I don't know this manufacturer, but I have to trust that they'll do a great job. So let's hope they turn out awesome. I saw it at Wonder Festival. Finally up for pre-order. This is Ulta's Schwartz Promotion 2 from Arknights. Dear Lord, I don't think I made a price prediction for this, but 46,000 yen seems about right. As much as we can all doom about figures getting more expensive, this would always be like at least 30,000 yen. I'm kind of surprised it's not over 50,000 to be honest. I think people are going to get mad about this support poll, but like, what are you going to do? Why is there like no pictures? They're all showing the same angle. I think this might be one of the most impressive figures they've ever done. Kind of concerned about the longevity of this figure. It's very floaty. And while that looks really cool, I really wonder how structurally stable it's gonna be. Even with this support pole, I don't know how well it's really going to hold up over the years. Going into the details, like, I can't not mention the clear coat and how really cool it looks. Also the gradation and incredible hair sculpt that Schwartz has, character design and the sculpt of everything. It's a really, really incredible figure. Waited all this time for better photos and then they don't even have like good photos on their blog. Even this bag looks fantastic. And I can't not mention these effect pieces back here on the base. Just visceral slashes with the most perfect color to really emphasize that. It just looks beautiful. And then you get to the crossbow, which is just absolutely huge. How do you even put a price on something like this? It's got like 3 bowstrings. How many bolts? This figure is incredible. I don't think anyone should be complaining about this price. I think it's fully justified. Are you ever gonna find a figure that does what this does ever again? I don't think so. I'm very impressed with it. And really the only point of concern for me is that support pole gonna hold it up forever, or is she gonna start to lean and have structural issues in the long run? We don't know, and I think it might be a bit of a gamble. I'd probably take the plunge if I was really into Arknights. I thought Hestia fell off. What's going on here? This is now reminding me about the Hestia boob string controversy 7 or 8 years ago. It takes me back. It's been a long time since we've seen a Hestia figure. She really used to be the flavor of the month, golden girl of the figure industry, and then completely fell off. So it's fun to see Hestia again, but I don't think this figure is it. This price tag is enormous. I think people are sick of FuRyu's antics at this point. It's like, why does it have to be so deep? The dress doesn't need to go out that far. It just makes things such a pain to display when there's so much baggage at the back for no reason. She's kind of cute, but I don't think I'd even pay half as much of this for this figure. I really need to watch this movie. I don't want to watch 3.0 again. That movie sucked. Anyway, I love long-haired Rei. I think it makes Rei so much more palatable from a character design perspective. I think all this extra blue and all these really roughly, toughly hair strands is really, really nice to look at. It's such a shame that this incredible sculpt is mostly going to be hidden. But she does have so much hair that you do get quite a bit of it from the front of the figure anyway, which is fine enough. I'm always pretty happy with what Good Smile puts out though, and I think they've done a great job with Rei here. Really zooming in here, but you can see this bit where her knee is bending on both sides. Her plug suit's sort of bunching up a little bit. and creasing around the knee, which is really nice, little sculpted detail. I think sometimes figures will sort of forget or intentionally leave out stuff like this. So I am always happy when we see something like that. But yeah, thumbs up for long-haired Rei. I don't think that there's a single long-haired Rei figure I've seen so far that I've disliked. They've all been really, really cool. Oh boy, Prime 1 Studio, that's a lot of dollars. It's more than I was expecting for this. This is the Prisma Wing Gwendolyn from Odin Sphere. Seems pretty clean. It's cute. I like the idea. I just don't think it's worth that much. I'm not sure. I am really not sure. The grapes look nice as well. Like, I look at this and I'm like, yeah, that's cool. But I'm not like wowed by it. I don't feel like I need to have it. It's kind of hard to put my finger on what exactly this is lacking aside from general polish. I think subconsciously I'm probably comparing it to something like the Myethos Sleeping Beauty, which is 16,000 yen compared to this 39,000 yen. I think Myethos is just pulling off this very similar sort of composition of the figure in a much better way than Prime 1 ever even considered for this. If you had to ask me to choose which one I think is more expensive, I would definitely go with the Mythos Sleeping Beauty. Just because of something like this. Like, there's just this intangible on this figure that just doesn't do it for me, and especially for this price, it's a hard pass, I think. Let's go! Mod Date Style Quintuplets from Good Smile. Again, with anime girls, just having normal casual clothes is just a massive thumbs up for me, but also the extending of the Starbucks and everything, it feels very personal, and I wish I was 1/6 scale so I could accept it. I really like what Good Smile is doing with these figures. I think they're really attractive, and for a 1/6 scale at this sort of price, I think it's entirely reasonable. They're more simple figures, but it doesn't seem like Good Smile has really skimped down on any of their quality or shading. I really enjoy this as an initiative from them. I think there's like a large, untapped market of more affordable scale figures that these are sort of falling into now. Big thumbs up. Thank you, Good Smile. And then the final figure before we get into the speed round is Hemet Nethel by Wing. I like a lot of these False Lander designs, but it seems like a lot of the ones I like are just Figmas. So it's nice to see Hemet Nethel get a scale figure. I think she's got a pretty good design. The stuff through the hair is always something cool to see. I really like her mask, which also does come off, by the way, but I would never take it off. I think my favorite part about this figure is probably the staff. I just really like all the cool details in there. Really, I think my main problem with the figure is that I wish it was a bit more dynamic. But yeah, for the price, I think I would have appreciated something that's a bit more, or showing off some of the more unique aspects of the character design more prominently. I just think that'd be quite nice. So a few things before we get into the speed round. First thing is I was on the Miyazaki Man podcast. It was a fun video, and I'll leave a link to it in the description and pinned comment as well. If you like watching these videos, you'll probably also like watching that one, so do give it a watch. Second thing is I'll also have my CD Japan affiliate link down there as well. If you want to buy something from this video that isn't one of the Amiami exclusives, you can use my link to help support the channel financially if you buy something from them. And the last thing is, if you did like the video, make sure you leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And now I'll play it out with the speed round. Big penguin. This is the one thing that's actually going to make me watch Spy Family. This really just makes me want to give Nanachi a hug. I bet she'd give good hugs. You guys think Nanachi smells like a wild animal? Finally some Abroad in Japan merch, let's go! I've talked about this Rem before, haven't I? They all blend together. I don't know. Lilina without the hat is just so sad. Imagine being the coolest kid in class bringing out the Buster Swords to do your maths homework. Like, goddamn. Dog. Probably to close by the time I get to it. That's how you know a product's good. No one cares about Uma Musume, but look at the grass on this figure. Good Smile going hard. These Nendos are so cute. I think they did a really good job. Where's the one where she's eating the crab? Where is it? There it is. And Toru as well. So unbelievably cute. They're perfect. They're also so expensive. What happened to Nendoroid prices? This is why I give up on Nendoroids. But then I see Sigmire, and I'm like, ooh, actually, you know, 7,000 yen. I gotta have him, man. I gotta have him. Click the pre-order button. Here we proceed to checkout. Ooh. They really want people to have like a prop tree to just stand the shield up with, I guess. What a pretty Miku. Can't believe companies ruin such nice figures by putting the logo of the series on it. Grow up, fat company. Do better. This figure has the best face of the month. Look at this. Look at that face. And then she's got another one. Where's the faceplate? There it is. Look at that. It's amazing. She's so expressive. Her backpack has the same expression. I think this figure kind of exemplifies why I hate KADOKAWA. Alright guys, new mini segment. Best bunny girl of the month. We got Yun, we got Darkness, we got whoever cares. We got this one. This one's the best one, spoiler alert. It's got the pudding and the cherries, and it's not by freeing, so it's automatically way more high effort than anything else they'll ever do. Back to freeing, we got some Food Wars, probably re-release, who cares? Like, what even... Oh god, I forgot I put this here. I like jump scared myself. Oh my god. What is that? She looks like she's 12. Freeing. Best bunny girl of the month. Don't at me. I usually talk about all the Ulta figures, but this one got a bit cheeky. I've added in a very cheeky mirror here, so you can look at all your little cheeky cheeks. Next month, I hope you're less lewd. This may be the only respectable thing KADOKAWA has put out all month, and I don't care enough to say anything about it. It says a lot. Well, actually, these Date Alive Date version figures are kinda cute, but the bases are terrible. What are those tulips? They look so cartoony and terrible. Why? These could have been great. They just look a bit half done. Thanks for watching the September Amiami Recap. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure you click that subscribe button. And until next time, this has been the Ando Experience, and I'll catch ya in the next one. Bye!